Good evening. Welcome to the Red Sea podcast. I am Statman Stubbs. This is a Rivals Point of View. It's on Wednesday evenings now, not Thursdays, and we're going to be previewing Liverpool versus Brighton this coming Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff. Quite unusual for Liverpool to have 3 p.m. kickoffs. But before we get into all that, let's roll with the intro.
Tell the world. We are Liverpool, champions of England.
We've conquered all of Europe. We're never gonna stop. From Palestine to Turkey, we've won the fucking lot. But Paisley and the Shankly, the fields of Anfield gold. We are all supporters. And we come from Liverpool.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Red Sea podcast. Like I say, this is Rivals Point of View. It's going to be on Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. going forward, not the Thursday at 8 p.m. Tonight, we're going to be previewing Liverpool versus Brighton. We're going to be going through the head-to-head records. We're going to be going through Brighton's danger men, thoughts on the season so far, where Brighton may finish or where they expect to finish come May. We're also going to be doing a quick 10 questions all about Brighton and also a prediction at the end. Just going to introduce my guest, Brighton fan Joe from Albion Obsessed. How are you doing, mate? You okay?
Hello, yeah, all good, mate. Yeah, thank you for having me on. It's actually been quite quiet on our channel of late. We're going through a few changes ourselves. But excited to be doing something and talk about the game coming up.
Yeah, exactly. Looking forward. Thank you for coming on first and foremost. But yeah, I do appreciate it. Just obviously, it's good to get a Rivals fans' point of view on the game coming up. So really do appreciate it, mate. Just before we start, as we do all the time, obviously if you are new to the channel, please make sure you do like and subscribe to our channel. But also, if you do want to obviously look at the Brighton content as well, then you can find Joe on Twitter. And I believe you've got a YouTube channel as well, Joe, haven't you?
Yeah, it's all under the name Albion Obsessed. My personal is my last name, so Sayers, BHAFC. If you do want to see what's going on in the Albion camp, yeah, come along, follow me. But of course, I'm sure there's probably all Liverpool fans watching this one. So yeah, give these guys a follow. They're doing good work.
Thanks very much, mate. So we're just going to go straight on to the head-to-head records. Any idea what it's like? Do you think it's quite even? Any sort of idea at all?
Head-to-head record, I would imagine it's quite Liverpool heavy on the wins. Obviously, we got our famous win last season with no fans in the ground when you guys were going through that sort of little rough patch at Anfield. And I think we drew against you at the Amex. I'm not 100% sure last season. So that's crazy that we got 4 points off of you guys to keep us up. But yeah, as I say, I imagine it's all Liverpool heavy.
Yeah, so at Anfield, Liverpool have won 9, Brighton have won 1, which I believe was, like you say, last season's 1, and there's been 2 draws. At Brighton's ground, you've won 1. Liverpool have won 6, 5 draws, so it's quite obviously been a lot of draws, especially the Amex and obviously the previous stadium as well. Surprised at that, first of all?
Not particularly, given the difference in the size of the clubs. Obviously, where we were for a large majority of our history was, flirting with sort of the bottom couple of tiers of English football. So. Not overly surprised. I would imagine our win at home came against you back in the 1980s, which I wouldn't remember, I'm afraid. So yeah, not surprised.
Yeah, exactly. So just to touch upon that, goals at Anfield, there's been 33 Liverpool goals, so that's averaging 2.75 per game. Brighton have scored 9, which is 0.75 per game. This is at Anfield. At Brighton's ground, you've scored 18 goals. Liverpool have scored 27, so you're averaging a lot more at your own ground, 1.50 0 per game. Liverpool 2.2. So if you look at the averages, sort of 2.5 over both sort of home and away for Liverpool, and you guys probably about looking at 1.25 per game over both home and away. So it's not a bad record. I mean,
Could be worse.
it could be a lot worse. Like you say, it could be a lot worse. Like you say, last 5 visits at Anfield for Brighton, you won 1-0 last season. Then it was the 2-1 Liverpool win, then 1-0, then 4-0 to Liverpool, and then it was an FA Cup game back in 2012, which Liverpool won 6-1. So
Yeah, and we scored 3 own goals, I think. So
yeah,
you're welcome.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're going to come on to first of all your danger men, because you have got some very decent players. So obviously, Joe, take it away. You obviously watch Brighton on a weekly basis. Who's your danger men?
Phew, at the moment, I would say probably Leandro Trossard
Yeah,
and Neil Maupay. I feel like they're creating quite a decent partnership and something that yeah, last season wasn't working as well as we would hope. But this season seems to be really thriving on playing. What Neil Maupay seems to be thriving on playing alongside Leandro Trossard. We would normally see him coming off the left, but Graham Potter's put him in a more central role. I think, given our lack of strikers, we needed him to sort of step up and take that position. For me, one of our most underrated players, who I would actually class as a danger man, is Alexis McAllister.
yeah,
I feel like, especially his performances off the bench, he gives us so much creativity. And on his day, he can be the best player on any pitch. I feel like he's got a huge potential going forwards. Obviously, he's in the Argentinian under 23
yeah.
squad. He's been knocking on the door of their senior squad as well. And you know, any Argentinian international has the potential to be quite special. Obviously, Yves Bissouma. I'm not sure how much we can say on him really, but
Yeah,
I'm sure you know about the situation. But
yeah,
you know, away from that, if we're talking about just football, you know, he's probably one of the best players that I've ever seen in an Albion shirt. Obviously, hoping that I can remain saying that and remain supporting him, but who knows what's happening there. Um, and at the back, I feel like you have to just mention Lewis Dunk. You know what he's given to this club over the last 10, 11 years. He's been an incredible servant to us. And yeah, I feel like the whole country knows what he's capable of, and he still doesn't get in the England squad. So
crazy.
yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, you know all about Adam Lallana and the
Yeah,
qualities he possesses. Um, I'm hoping that he can step up and maybe exploit Liverpool's weaknesses a little bit. Um, but who knows?
yeah,
So yeah, obviously we've got Tarek Lamptey back, which is really positive. On the other wing, we've got Marc Cucurella, who we signed from Getafe, who has been really useful so far. I feel like he was the missing piece in the Graham Potter puzzle last season. We were having to use sort of Dan Burn as a left wing back, Jacob Moder,
yeah,
etc. And to have a natural left wing back now, yeah, it seems to be going really well. Obviously, last game maybe not, but you know we were playing against Man City,
yeah,
so what can you do against them when they're on their day? They can sweep you away, no problem at all, which they did. So yeah, we've got a really promising squad, and on their day can cause any team danger.
yeah, exactly. It's you've got a squad which is full of dangerous players. To be honest, like I said, your fullbacks that you've just touched upon there, Tarek Lamptey, he offers a different dimension. To I think because he came on off the bench against Man City, didn't he? I don't think he started, did he?
Yeah, he
And
did, and he caused Jack Grealish all sorts of
yeah,
problems. And quite quickly after Tarek Lamptey came on, Jack Grealish was taken off.
yeah,
So I feel like Pep maybe saw a little weakness there. Jack Grealish may be a little bit too tired from all the football he's been playing.
Yeah.
To be fair to Jack Grealish, he did mug us off a little bit when he got subbed off. He walked past my part of the ground where I sit, and we were all giving him a little bit of stick,
Yeah.
and he goes like this to us. So he quickly shut us up.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it could be a battle of the fullbacks, to be honest. Obviously Alexander Arnold and Robertson on one side, and then like you say, Cucurella, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously Tarek Lamptey. So you've got some dangerous players. You've touched upon Lamptey. Lewis Dunk's always a danger from corners. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, and it's one I'm looking forward to. So that just brings us nicely onto the next thing I wanted to discuss, which is your season so far. I mean, I've always said I don't know if you've watched any of the podcasts that I've done so far, but I've always said I've got a lot of respect for Graham Potter, the way he plays his football. You like to get it on the floor. You like to play football. You're not one of these gun-ho teams where you just play it straight up from the back up to the striker, like a Burnley, or who are horrible to watch. You are a decent team to watch, and deservedly, obviously, won at Anfield last season. So for me, I mean, how would you say your season so far, Joe?
Yeah, just touching on the football that we play, we got a lot of
Yeah,
stick for sacking Chris Hughton back in, I can't remember when, 2019, and we were playing awful football.
yeah,
It was, football that we didn't want to lose, sort of football, which was, but we were still losing 5-0 to Bournemouth and 2-0 to Cardiff.
yeah,
And, as I say, we got a lot of stick for it and letting him go. But looking at those results, can you really back that up? Can you really say that he deserves to stay on? Obviously, bringing in Graham Potter has been a masterstroke from our chairman, from our board as well. The football that we started to play under him in the first season, we blew Watford away 3-0 in the first game, if I remember correctly. We beat
yeah,
the likes of Tottenham 3-0 as well that season. Maybe struggled a little bit towards the end. Things weren't quite going our way. But Graham Potter has just continued to stick to his plan, and the board have stuck by him the whole way. Again, we
mm,
struggled last season. A lot of fans were calling for him to maybe change up his system and get the results. But no, he carried on playing his football. This season, we're seeing the rewards of that.
yeah,
Where we are, we're fifth in the league. How many games gone now? 9, I think.
yeah. This is week 10
Um,
coming up. Yeah,
yeah. So I, I feel like a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Brighton will fall away. They'll fall away." It's still early on in the season, of
yeah,
course. I understand that, but we are seeing the best football that Brighton have ever played, and we have the best team that Brighton have ever had.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, the season so far has been incredible to watch.
yeah,
Whereas last season it was frustrating. So that's a nice change.
yeah,
So let's just hope that can continue. Obviously, I know we've got a really hard game at the weekend, but I said in my podcast a few weeks ago that these are the games where we're really going to see what we're about. Obviously,
yeah,
didn't quite go our way against Man City. Liverpool are just a completely different test. I see what you guys are doing this season, and you can blow teams away with
yeah,
absolutely. Mo Salah is on fire. I see a lot of people talking about him as the best player in the world at the moment, and
mm,
for me, he's definitely up there. Um, but yeah, so let's see how we fare on Saturday.
yeah. Exactly. Just want to say good evening to the 1892 Reds podcast. I hope you're doing well, guys. They're a regular viewer for our shows. They do their own podcast as well. Give them a subscribe if you don't already, because they are bringing some good content, same as ourselves. Thoughts on the game tonight? Well, for me, obviously, Liverpool. It's Preston versus Liverpool tonight. You've got Leicester
Yeah,
away, which is a difficult game, but from a Liverpool point of view for the game tonight, it's obviously going to be a lot of 11 changes in all honesty. We don't really ever take the League Cup serious in all way, shape or form. I think we'll still be Preston. We should be anyway, even if we make 11 changes. But yeah, probably I'm going to go for 2-0 tonight against Preston. But what's your thoughts on Brighton's game against Leicester? It's a difficult game for you, isn't it?
Yeah, difficult one. We had the same last season in the FA Cup. We were drawn away to Leicester and lost, and Leicester went on to win
Yeah,
the FA Cup as well. So you can't be too disappointed with that, losing to the winners. But yeah, it just depends on what Brendan Rodgers and Graham Potter do tonight, whether we put out a second fiddle team, and who knows what could happen. I have to see the lineups really first of all before I make a
yeah,
prediction, because anything can happen with those.
yeah,
But
exactly.
I would like to see us progress. Our youngsters have been doing really well for us in the cup. We've had a couple of really winnable games. So this is the first real test.
Yeah,
But I feel like Graham Potter will stick by the youngsters, and I'll probably say that we're going to go out tonight. But as I say, we'll see.
yeah, exactly. But no, honest view, we appreciate it. Just going to go on to the next bit. So where you think you may finish come May?
Um, I hope top 10
Yeah,
would be our chairman's dream achieved within maybe 2 seasons of him saying that's where he wants us to be.
yeah,
Um, but it's about staying there, and it's about spending the money to get the players to even keep you challenging for the European spots. Obviously, we've got that new um, European competition that's come in that Tottenham are still doing awfully in. So it opens up some really good opportunities for teams like us to challenge in Europe.
yeah.
So yeah, I would like to see us finish top 10, but I really wouldn't be disappointed with 14th or 13th.
I think just as long as you finish above Crystal Palace, I think that's the main aim, isn't it? Because obviously,
Yeah, we haven't finished above them for a good while.
yeah,
So yeah.
it's what's the derby like? Because obviously, it's not. In all honesty, it's not really a match I would generally normally watch. Brighton versus Palace or vice versa. What is it? Is it that much hatred towards each other? Do you actually hate them that much? Playing Palace, or is there a bit of friendly rivalry?
Um, well, I'll just touch on the history behind it. Basically, back in I think the 70s or the 80s, or the seasoned Brighton fans will correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
we had a manager called Alan Mullery, and they had a manager called Terry Venables, who
Yes.
both played for Tottenham Hotspur back in their day, and I think were fighting out for the captaincy at the time,
Yeah.
and they really didn't like each other basically, and they basically faced each other when they were managers of the respective clubs, and there was a little bit of feistiness on the touchline. Obviously, the Brighton fans were back in Mullers. The Palace fans were back in Terry Venables,
Yeah.
and the Palace fans were just hounding Alan Mullery for like 90 minutes. And basically, Alan Mullery had some change in his pocket, and he chucked the change on the floor, and he pointed to the Palace fans and said, "That's all your club's worth." And basically, it's all stemmed from there. Um, so it's not much of a history, like not like a geographical history or
Yeah.
anything like that, but it's just born on two managers hating each other. So the fans hated each other. Palace fans started chanting Eagles, so we replied with Seagulls. That's where we get our nickname from. We
Yeah.
used to be called the Dolphins before that. So yeah, it's all stemmed from there really. And yeah, it's quite feisty still these days.
Yeah.
We don't like them at all. It's probably the same as you guys with Manchester United. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, I really don't like those games. And at the Amex, they cause all sorts of problems, and the fans are awful. They caused, I think, £5 million worth of damage to our stadium in the first year we had it. So yeah, it gets quite ugly at times.
Yeah.
Um, but at the end of the day, when you get a Palace fan that's all about the football, then you can have some decent, football banter. But at the end of the day, yeah, we really don't like them, and they really don't like us. I wouldn't call it a derby.
Yeah,
A lot of Palace and Brighton fans get a little bit not annoyed, but they get their backs up a little bit when people call it a derby. The A27 derby, the N23 derby, it's been called by Sky Sports.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, we just call it a rivalry, and yeah, we don't care about them. They don't care about us, pretty much.
We've got Jericho in the chat as well. Really good to see you in the chat, mate. I hope you're well. Jericho, Joe normally predicts 7-0 on his predictions. I think every game so far he said 7-0. So one of these days he's going to be right. I mean, obviously Palace last season was 7-0, which I'm sure you would have enjoyed.
Oh,
But no,
absolutely.
but great to have you in the chat. Hope you're well, mate, and keep the comments coming. Just want to go on to a bit more in depth about just on the thoughts on both managers. First of all, I've touched upon Graham Potter. Obviously, what's your thoughts first of all on Jurgen Klopp before we touch upon Graham Potter?
Yeah, taking myself out of the Brighton thoughts and then maybe the Brighton tinted glasses. I love Jurgen Klopp. I think he's fantastic. He's hilarious. He's charismatic. He's all that you want in a manager. He's passionate. He gets his players playing.
Yeah,
When he's come out with phrases like heavy metal football and stuff like that, it's just, you know, I would go as far as saying that he's iconic.
yeah,
Obviously, you guys think extremely highly of him. He's won you a Champions League. He's won you your first Premier League the first Premier League, but the first division
yeah,
for God knows how long. I don't know. But yeah, I think he's a fantastic manager. I love watching his interviews. I love watching the stuff that he does with the fans.
yeah,
He just bleeds kindness and bleeds care for his players. You can see that the players absolutely love him. I've watched an interview with Adam Lallana, obviously, once he come to Brighton, talking so highly of the man.
yeah.
So, yeah, I've got nothing but respect for him.
No, fair play. No, good answers as well. And I think just before we touch upon Graham Potter, because obviously he's doing a fantastic job, obviously at your club, Brighton. And I've already said earlier on that got a lot of respect from the way he plays football. Don't always get the results, obviously that you've deserved. I mean, I think you won 4 out of the 5 first games this season, then you haven't won the last 3, but every team that you generally play, you do give them a good game, and it's not never an easy game, and I'm not expecting an easy game this weekend. But if with regards to Klopp, I think if anyone, I think he's made for Liverpool Football Club, and I think Graham Potter for you is made for Brighton. So I'll let you just think what obviously yourself and what the Brighton fans think of Graham Potter.
Yeah, tactically, I think probably the best manager we've ever had. Obviously, I'm talking for my generation and knowing the managers that I've known. There might be some people that think that past managers before my time were better, but yeah, he's an incredible man. I've met him a few times. Really, really lovely. So down to earth. So normal. Um, not much controversy surrounds him at all. I know he gets under Pep Guardiola's skin quite a bit. You
Yeah,
saw their altercation at the end of last season when we beat them. So yeah, but I think he goes about his business with real class. If he does annoy someone, it's because he's outclassed them. He's better than them.
yeah,
And in my opinion, he is the best English coach in the country. Obviously, there might be someone else elsewhere that we don't know about yet. But for me, he could go on to do incredible things. He could go on to be England manager.
yeah,
He could go on to manage anyone inside of the top 6 and win them a Premier League. I've got no doubt about that. So we are so lucky to have him.
yeah,
We're so lucky that he's really committed to the cause at Brighton. I know a few teams have come in for him, like the likes of Spurs. But yeah, as I say, we're really lucky, and long may it continue. He's got a really good thing going at Brighton. I think he knows
yeah,
that. He's got a great squad of players. and give him more time to build, and you watch us rise up that league.
No, exactly, yeah. And I think in a way it's a catch-22 situation, don't you? Because in a way, obviously, you want your team to do well, but if they're going to continue performing the way that they are doing, then it's going to get them noticed with, in all fairness, a bigger club. And in a way, obviously, like I say, you want your team to do well, but in the same situation, you don't want someone like Graham Potter to go to a bigger club. Would that be a fair assumption?
Yeah, I would hate to see him go, especially now. I think he's halfway through building what he needs to build. Maybe in 2 years' time, if he did move on, I don't think. Let's say we were still floating around 15th, 14th. I don't think that we could stand in his way and say, "No, you're staying with us. Look at what you've built. Let's carry on. Let's keep trying."
Yeah,
Um, yeah, you know, people get to a certain point in football, like players that we've seen and gone, where you get to a certain point, you say, no, you deserve your chance playing for a team like Liverpool or like Chelsea or Man United. Um, so yeah, I don't think our chairman is that way inclined to stand in people's way. Obviously, with Ben White leaving, he could have easily rejected those bids from Arsenal. We
yeah.
don't need the money. Um, we've got a really good financial backing from the chairman. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of natural progression. If we're not progressing the way that Graham Potter wants to,
Mm.
who are we to say that he can't go and chance his arm higher up the league?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a great response there because you mentioned Ben White, and I just want to mention him a bit as well. Do you think, first of all, good business from Brighton getting 50 million for obviously a young English centre back? Do you think the price was maybe exaggerated because he's English, or is he just that good? Obviously, from a Brighton's point of view, what would you say to that, Joe?
I think it's a masterstroke from our board getting £50 million for him.
Yeah,
I know there was a lot of interest, even from you guys. I think
yeah,
Chelsea, Man United, they were all in for him, or even all had interest. I'm not sure. I don't know the background of it all. But yeah, I feel like it was exaggerated. Obviously, quite lucky for us that he got in the England squad at the Euros. That probably adds £15 million to his price tag.
yeah,
Um, he's a player with immense potential. Um, he's a player that took to the Premier League like he's been playing there for 5 years. Um, he's worked his way up the leagues, obviously starting with Newport down in League Two, Peterborough, Leeds, us, now at Arsenal. I saw obviously he went off injured yesterday, I think, for Arsenal, and the
yeah.
Arsenal fans really worried. They think he's fantastic and is a real strength for them. But as I say, amazing bit of business because I really feel like last season he wasn't even our second best centre back.
Yeah,
We've got Lewis Dunk, Adam Webster, Joel Veltman, Dan Burn. We've got players that can come in and step in. We've got an amazing youth academy.
yeah,
We've got the likes of Hayden Roberts and Seth Songi coming through, who will most likely play tonight. We've got a couple of players out on loan, most notably Leo Ostegard, who's done really well for Coventry last season, and I'm not quite sure how he's doing for Stoke this year. But yeah, so not a massive loss to us, and it's £50 million in the bank.
yeah. No, true. Koek, I hope I pronounced that right, mate. Hey guys, just joined. Hope I'll catch up. Sure you will. But we'll just go back into it as well. Like I said at the start, if you are in the comments, please make sure that you do like the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any content like this. And by all means, please support Joe and his YouTube channel as well. Albion Obsessed, and he's got his own YouTube channel as well. But it's good because I don't know if you're aware, but it used to be a Thursday night at 8 o'clock but now I've moved it to a Wednesday for 6 p.m. just for commitments and stuff like that. So really do appreciate getting a rival fan on just to give their take and obviously on the club that they love as well. John, welcome to the chat. Thiago fit for Brighton, hopefully. Yeah, fingers crossed. We are a bit light in midfield at the minute. And he said as well, is AFCON officially not going ahead? I've heard rumours about that. There's unrest because it's in Cameroon this year. Or sorry, it's early next year. It's in January, isn't it? But I've heard a few rumours going around that it's not going ahead, but nothing concrete as of yet. I hope it doesn't go ahead, because then we're going to lose the likes of Salah, Mane, Naby Keita for a month or 6 weeks. So it's going to be tragedy if we lose them. But we're going to get on to just a little quiz for Joe here. Obviously, with him being a Brighton fan. Then obviously we're just going to ask 10 questions. You should easily get 10 out of 10. No pressure.
Let's see. You just piled the pressure on even more there.
Yeah, but John, we're both well. We did touch upon the Basuma, but we're not going to get into it because it's obviously a messy situation. And I'm sure if you search on Google afterwards, you'll find out what's actually happened with Basuma. But we'll not obviously speculate any further, and we'll leave it at that. But yeah, Joe, are you ready for question 1?
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
Hit me.
So easy one to start off with, or hopefully should be an easy one. From which club did Brighton sign Mark Lawrenson from?
Liverpool.
No.
No? Oh, he moved on to Liverpool. Hold on. Let's say. Oh my gosh. Let's say this is before my time. Let's say Southampton. I don't know.
No.
No, I don't know.
Preston North End.
Oh, okay.
Preston, yeah. When did Brighton play in their first FA Cup final?
1983.
Well done. In May 1997, Brighton got a 1-1 draw away to Hereford United, which ensured their survival in the Football League. Who scored the vital goal to keep them up?
Robbie Rhino.
Very good, very good. From which club did Brighton sign Bobby Zamora?
Bristol City.
Yes, well done. Whose ground did Brighton share between 1997 and 1999?
Gillingham.
Yeah. What is the name of the fanzine of Brighton?
What is the name of?
The fanzine of Brighton.
Fanzine.
So like I believe it's the program, potentially.
Oh, okay. Seagull.
It's not what I've got here.
Oh my gosh, it used to be called the Seagull. Gosh, it's really annoying. My programs were in my other room. I could have just looked at them. I'll just go with the Albion.
No, Gull's Eye.
That must be an old one.
We did touch upon this one earlier on. Brighton versus Crystal Palace is the main derby game, but what name does it go by? What Sky Sports have said anyway? Because you said it goes on for a few.
One of two. The A27 derby.
No, the other one.
The M23 derby.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we touched on that earlier.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We don't call it that, so that's Sky's thing.
That's Sky's thing. When were Brighton founded?
1901.
Do you know what date in 1901?
14th of April.
No, 24th of June 1901.
Oh, I don't know.
But we'll give it that. You got the year right. That's good enough for me, mate. Obviously, what is the capacity at the Amex?
Oh,
you don't have to get just get obviously the first number right. You don't have to get the extra or whatever, just closest to it really.
30,000?
31,000 31,800. And just lastly, who was Brighton's record signing?
Adam Webster.
No.
Seriously?
Yeah, there's
What
someone
are
who
you?
I've got down here. I wouldn't have thought it was ever him, but
Not Jurgen Locadia.
no.
No. Hold on. Adam Webster, 20 million. Have we signed anyone for above 20 million?
Yeah, I believe so. Well, this one's saying it does. Yeah, definitely.
It's not Ali Reza Jahanbash.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, 24 million
No
from AZ
way.
Alkmaar.
Oh, I thought it was 16.
No, it's what I read up 24. So, but how did you find them 10 questions? Weren't too bad, were they?
No, not too bad. A couple before my time,
Yeah,
especially the 1901 one. Should have got the capacity right. I knew it was around the 30 to 33,000 mark.
yeah,
Um, yeah, not quite sure on the accuracy of some, but we'll let you
yeah.
off.
It just all off Google, mate. To be honest, so I can only blame
Credit
if it is
Google.
wrong. I can only blame Google. Um,
In
just going
my
to
head,
touch
I'm right. So
And the thing that we've all been looking forward to, I know a few people have already put some predictions in, but predictions for this coming Saturday, like I say, 3 p.m. kickoff. It doesn't happen very often that Liverpool play 3 p.m. on a Saturday. Obviously, coming off the back of a really impressive victory against the arch enemy and Manchester United, winning 5-0. Does it put you in good stead? Are you confident going into this game? What's your thoughts? What prediction you going with?
after losing 4-1 to Man City and seeing you guys put five past Cristiano Ronaldo's 11. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, not very confident to be honest. Um, you mentioned the 3 o'clock kickoffs. We haven't got a home game kicking off at 3 o'clock until the new year, I think. So which is
God.
mental. But prediction. I can only see. My heart is obviously saying Brighton win.
Yeah,
But think about this logically. I'm not going to make myself look like an absolute fool. Um, let's go Liverpool 3, Brighton 1.
3-1. Fair enough. No, respectable. Yeah, I think you're the first person actually who's done the rivals point of view that's actually gone against their team. So respect for that, because most people, like you
I
said,
mean, I could sit here and say 6-0 Brighton, but
yeah,
um, at the end of the day, it's 11 against 11. It's such a cliche, but we'll see what's played on the pitch. But yeah, I can. If I set myself up for disappointment, then anything better is a
yeah,
bonus.
I suppose. Obviously, me and another guy who's on our Red Sea podcast, Southern Scouser, we always do a head-to-head sort of predictions as well. And Tiago's father, another co-host, he always thinks we sort of collude with each other, and because we generally seem to have the same sort of predictions. But the prediction I'm going to go for, I think Salah's on fire. I think he will score. And in fact, I've gone for Liverpool to win 2-0, and I've gone for Salah to get both of them. I just think he's on really good form. I just hope Liverpool owners, if you are listening, please give Salah what he wants, even if that is 350, 400,000 pound a week. Give him it. He is world class. And I know we briefly did touch upon it when you said he's definitely up there. I think right now it's between him and Lewandowski. Personally, I think it's between them two. I don't think Messi, Ronaldo get anywhere near this year. If they do, it's definitely a con. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think Ronaldo and Messi is based on names now.
Yeah,
Obviously, what they have achieved in the game. Messi doesn't seem to be taken to Paris all that well. I'm not sure on his stats there, to be honest. I don't. Maybe he scored a couple. Ronaldo, obviously, you maybe hope that. Well, not hope, but for United fans, they maybe hope that he comes in and drags them through games like against Liverpool.
yeah,
But he's losing 5-0 to his arch rivals. Um, So yeah, I feel like their time is done. I feel like it's time for other people to be recognised. Obviously, Mo Salah. You touch on Robert Lewandowski, who's been doing absolute bits for years,
Fantastic.
and no
Yeah.
one's even given him a look in really. Obviously, the likes of Mbappe coming through, but is he doing well enough? No, I
Yeah.
don't think. Erling Haaland, he's up there. So yeah, a lot of people that are well deserved of the Ballon d'Or this year. And yeah, it's really exciting to see who's going to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously you say to your owners, give Salah what he wants, or just send him down to the South Coast, mate. We'll look after him. Don't worry.
Just with regards to tonight's game, the lineup's just been announced for Liverpool anyway against Preston. I'll have a look in a minute for Brighton. But we've got Adrian in goal, Nico Williams right back, Matip and Gomez centre backs, Simicast left back, Tyler Morton, Curtis Jones, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Blair, Minamino, and Origi. So it's a very youthful team again there. Second string really. Let's have a look and see if your team news is out yet, because we all kick off at quarter to 8. I don't think yours is out actually yet.
Let me have a quick look. Just in case there are any other Brighton fans watching this. My laptop now wants to be really slow. We have got, yeah, as expected, we've gone with the um, second string team, but it's still loading. I can see a few names. So we've got Steele in goal. We've got it's in number order. I'm really sorry. We've
No,
got
it's all
Aaron
right.
Connolly, Adam Webster, Alexis McAllister, Pascal Gross, Shane Duffy, Lacadia Roberts, Byrne, Veltman, and Sarmiento. So yeah, as I say, second string team, but
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully we can see a couple of challenges for this coming Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. We'll start closing it up there. Like I say, Joe, really do appreciate you coming on, giving your point of view as a Brighton fan.
No worries.
Obviously, wish you all the best for Saturday. Hoping obviously it's a Liverpool win, of course, but I'm sure you think the same for obviously Brighton as well. But guys, obviously in the chat, please go over to Twitter, subscribe, give Joe a follow as well. All the links are in his Twitter feed, and then you can subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. And obviously, guys, if you want to subscribe to my channel as well as the Red Sea podcast, if you just go over to @StephenStubbs985. You can find my own YouTube channel as well as the links to the Red Sea podcast as well. We'll close it up, but we always just finish it up with what's coming up on the Red Sea podcast. So we've got the Fab Four on Friday previewing the Brighton game. We've also got two of our Red Sea co-hosts on the LFC Day Trippers who do the match reaction after the game. And then we've got a preview of Liverpool versus Atletico as well. I think that's on Monday night as well. So obviously, as always, keep everything Red Sea. And also, like I've just said, make sure you do subscribe to Joe's channel as well. Joe, anything you want to add before we go?
Nothing to add. Just up the Albion.
No problem at all. Well, we'll leave it there. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Comments have been great as always. I really do thank you for your support. And it'll be moving forward same time next Wednesday, 6 p.m. And we'll obviously see you then. But from me, SMS, and from Joe, real pleasure and all the best. Stay safe.
Take care, guys.
Cheers for that, mate.